Adam, our friends over at Sellhound have outdone themselves. They're giving the Deathpiles and Taxes listeners an opportunity of a lifetime.
They're going to help us make some money, get rid of that death pile, get your items listed, because you can't sell out of an empty wagon.
Man, sell all that you got, kill that death pile. When you go over to Sellhound, use promo code, capital letters, Deathpiles25 to save 25% off of their service.
And get out there and start making some money.
We sell your items online. Go ahead, declutter your life. Have a yard sale or let eBay do the work. From the thrift store shopping to that wallet popping. There are two things in life that are certain. Deathpiles in Texas. Deathpiles in Texas. With Derek Everitt and Adam Beesley.
Well, Deathpiles and Taxes listeners, this would be episode 3 times 1.25.
Who knows? It depends. Are you a Castboxer, are you a YouTuber, or are you on every other platform?
Are you on the originals? We're just glad to be back on the air.
There's secret shows out there now, if you're new to this.
Our attorney was able to get rid of the cease and desist letter. We are back on and getting action every single day.
We took care of business, or as Adam would say, business.
That's right. We're back where we need to be. So thanks for listening. We got some fun stuff going your way.
I got some good stuff. We got good guests in studio.
Oh.
I got you a special. Do you see what I got you there?
The Mountain Dew Zero Sugar Major Melon.
I need you to test it for me.
I have not. I've had offers to test it, but it came with the sugar. Oh, this doesn't sound as good as the squeeze.
Let's see how it goes.
Let's see. Oh, that was
a little weak. That was a little weak.
That is not the can sound.
Well, Adam, I think we need a recap from last week's events. I think that the people, the listeners, they want to know. Oh, that's the face you're pulling.
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
Well, that's what I got for you.
we'll give it several tries.
All right, we can get through the show.
I don't know about that one.
Well,
we'll see. It's different than my regular Diet Mountain Dew that I go with, but
well, it's a summertime blend.
It is a blend.
It's a summer blend.
I've gotten used to it, so.
Well, let's recap after the show last week.
Oh my heavens! You are not we cannot make these stories up. That's the best part about Deathpiles. You get real life. You learn how to do things. Derek, we had a night of all nights last night after we recorded.
We go off the air and we go out in the parking lot, slapping each other on the backside, saying that was a great show.
Oh, lovely show.
Felt good.
Way to go, D-Roy.
I think we're back up. I think I'm gonna get this on the interwebs. People are gonna hear it. They're gonna be happy. And Adam says, "Oh, that's great." And he takes off in his car, and I get in my car, or you're in your truck.
Yes.
And I get in my car, and I drive about 10 to 20 feet, and I thump. So I thought, well, I got a flat tire, and the Prius is a fine automobile, but one thing it's not is known for having a powerful jack, and I know this is going to be an all-night event if I don't get a better jack than what it was equipped with. So I call up Adam, I say, "Hey, buddy, you're not going to believe this, but you got a jack."
Of course I do.
And so he spins around and comes back and says, "Well, I knew I should wait for you, but decided I'd go on down the road." And so he gets there, and he's got her Dale Earnhardt record speed.
The problem is I set my stopwatch, and that's where the whole night ended.
We were on the Christmas Story.
We were gonna get in there, jack it up. I feel like I was on the pit crew, and man, did we have some problems.
So we get her all we get her all up.
Long story long.
Well, this is gonna be a long one, but I think it needs to be told. It needs to be shared.
It's so great.
And so we'll reply. We'll make it about reselling here in about 10, 15 minutes. Hold on. I don't know how, but we will. So I'm trying to get the spare tire out of there, and boy, she isn't budging.
No, spare tires. And I've got the jack up and going. I've already broken the nuts, so we're ready to go.
We're ready to go. Ab just thinks I'm weak, which I probably am. But he's trying to turn this. It has a little knobber on it, but the knobber was like.
It was a solid plastic knob. It didn't have like a cutout in the middle for the wrench. So Derek couldn't get it off. And he's got these big fat,
I got some paws.
I was like, all right, I got these, more dainty. I mean, I work with my hands all day. I type the keyboard, so I've got muscles to them. So I figure I can get him in there and kind of turn that knob, and I was wrong.
Then Adam's grabbing the hammer and he's going to town. I'm like, bust the thing. We need to get this going.
Find out whatever we have. So I get in there with the hammer and kind of like a pick and start hitting it and making it spin a little bit.
But it's not. I I said, I got that other car down the road that hasn't sold. I know there's a spare tire in there.
So that's a good thing Derek didn't sell that car. He's got 2 cars.
So I run down the road and get the spare tire in Adam's truck. Well, he's going to sit there and he's
I kept working it.
working, making some hay.
I was hitting that tire and it was not coming off.
So I get back and we throw on this tire.
Yeah, well, we tried to. Remember
Oh, that's true. So
we had it. It was off the ground. It's not touching, and like they wouldn't. Normally it's all of the nuts are off. And he's got a lock nut for the Prius.
well, I don't want somebody stealing them tires. Them rims are spinners.
Like I used to have one on the Jeep, and we're talking $400 tires. Derek has got a lock.
You ever been down to Walmart? Those are $85 a piece.
So that was interesting too. So we've got all of the lug nuts off. The tire is off the ground.
It's not going.
Not touching.
I'm kicking the rim, trying to get this thing just going.
Pull it off. So then I grab a hammer.
It was welded on.
I don't know what Derek did, but he must have been humdinging on those brakes, and it was welded shut.
It was doing a good clip. So finally we get that off.
Yeah, that was like
Adam throws on the spare. He's had about enough of this. So
yes.
he gets those on there. We cinch up the lug nuts. We clean up the mess, and I'm like, okay,
Let's go.
It's been a night. So I drive off. I get around the corner. And I get a phone call, and I thought Adam was just going to be like, you could have waited for me or something, give me a little crap. He says, you're not going to believe this. Mike, my truck won't start. The battery's dead.
Battery is dead.
I said, no problem, I got you. Turn around, we're going to jump you up. And
neither one of us are Eagle Scouts.
That's true. That's fair to say at this point.
We're both in it, but didn't finish the deed.
And as you can tell by this story.
And we have no jumper cables.
No jumper cables, but I got one of these jumper boxes things that hadn't been charged for probably 3 years. Like, probably since Obama was in office was the last time this thing was charged.
And it takes up a good chunk of space, so jumper cables would take up less space.
Yeah, but this was, originally it was my wife's car, so I wanted to just be able to plug it and jump it and not have to rely on the kindness of others.
So we jump in the Prius to go back to get jumper cables, but then Derek's like, Prius is kind of tough to jump, so we better go get your car.
Yeah, we better get something that's going to do the trick.
So
for sure. I mean, it's been a weird night already at this point.
We go up to my house, which is about 10 minutes away, and we go up and get there, and tell my wife, and by this time she's laughing. And
oh yeah.
Boy, we called your wife.
I called my wife, and halfway through the phone call, my phone died. It just died.
So we call her up, let her know what's happening, and they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. You guys don't have to lie about whatever you guys want.
If you guys want to go to McDonald's together, that's fine by me. I don't know.
No, really, this is what happened. So we get home. First, I couldn't find the keys to my wife's car. I always put them in the same spot. Like there's a hook.
Well, we couldn't get into your house to begin with because it was Fort Knox.
And I didn't have the garage door opener.
Because I was in the truck.
That had the dead battery. So I finally get in, couldn't find the key, get in the wife's car, and sure enough.
Extreme, was it the word was extreme or very?
Extremely low fuel.
Good thing Adam lives uphill.
We rolled down to the gas station.
I thought I was gonna have to push for a minute. I said I would.
You would. Luckily, we
made sure we grabbed the jumper cables too.
We made sure we had the jumper cables. Get to the gas station, fill her up.
Adam's wife's car only has one light, so he's telling me all about this Prediddles thing. I don't know about that. So
yeah, that's right. I've got to get that fixed tonight, or I'm dead meat. Haven't fixed that yet. So yeah, Prediddle, and yeah, Google it, or maybe don't. Get back to the office. Luckily or not, but we were able to jump the truck. We followed each other home. Derek made it home. I made it home.
Well, then you get home.
Oh, God.
And I'm going around the corner. I thought you were just making fun of me because I was on my little donut in my Prius.
Yeah.
And he called me and said, do you have struggle going up that hill? I thought you were just making fun of me. I said, no, it's fine. And I see you kind of driving by. And you're like, why is my truck in four-wheel drive? And I said, I don't know. I didn't put it in four-wheel drive.
And I couldn't get my truck out of four-wheel drive. I'm like, I gave it to Derek and drove it like 6 miles. I knew he got envy. That's the problem. He goes from driving the Prius to the truck, and he feels like a man.
Yeah, that was it.
He didn't know what to do, and somehow
he just started hitting buttons.
He put it in four-wheel drive, wanted to feel the power.
Did you ever get it out of four-wheel drive?
So woke up the next morning, and it was no longer in four-wheel drive.
Yeah, it wasn't in four-wheel drive when I drove it.
The power of God says, deem it good be, and your truck is back to normal.
And so all that, and then Adam, where were we? was it last Saturday?
Last Saturday.
So we went from broke down
Yes.
in a parking lot all night, greasy hands, and nothing going right.
11:30 at night and nothing going right. And Saturday night we are both hitting the suites with the high rollers at the jazz game.
We were jazz suites, different suites, same time. So
That's right. We had the buffet.
I said, I'm the poorest man up here. I told my wife, and I don't know if she believed me or not, but it was the truth.
It was definitely a good time had by all.
How does that have to do with reselling and eBay? Persistence, my friends.
That's right.
It might not always be going good. The USPS might not always be treating you right, but if you keep going, someday you'll get to that. You'll get to that sweet, and you'll have some of that buffet.
You could go from the lows of lows, hanging out with each other in the parking lot, nothing going right, and the best part. You know the best kind of vehicle?
The one that's paid off. That's
That
why.
is exactly
That's why I got the Prius.
That is the best kind of vehicle. I don't care what the one that's paid off. That is the best kind of vehicle in the world. So,
And we got. You remember our boy Adam West?
yeah,
He hit me up the other day,
Batman,
and he said to tell you. Let me make sure I get this right.
my brother from another mother.
He said, tell Adam I hope he placed his bet this time. That was after the Gonzaga played the game against the buzzer beater game.
Yes.
And he said, just tell Adam I hope he placed his bet this time.
Oh yes.
So that's from our buddy Adam West.
I placed lots of bets. I don't remember which one I was placing, but the Zags lost.
Well, that was the championship game,
Yes.
but not the game before. That's when he sent me that.
Okay. Yeah, on the Zags.
On the UCLA game.
Oh yes. Okay.
So
I did not. I'm not a member of the DraftKings. I just own stock in them.
okay.
You
You
can't.
got some good stonks out there.
Yeah, I got some stonks and stunks and money all over the place. So Derek, how does all this play into resale? I'll tell you why.
I thought I already did.
You can't sell things that aren't listed, and I'll tell you what, I had a nice little thing from the Deathpile that's been listed, and I just sent off $25 this morning.
Oh, that's always a nice
It was
nice surprise to wake up to.
It's already in the bank account, so that fund to go to Disneyland has continued to matriculate down the field and get larger.
I need to be nicer. I'll tell you this. I sold some things, and I was going back and forth with a person a little bit, and I said, I'm already giving you a good deal on all these other graded cards. You know you can't get a grade for some of the prices I was selling. And then afterwards, he sent me a tweet on Twitter. Now I know exactly who he is.
Okay.
And we've been following each other on Twitter. He's like, hey, just so you know, I'm the guy that bought those cards from you. Thanks, buddy, or something like that. And I thought, boy, I need to be nicer. The community gets smaller and smaller the more you go.
People know who you are.
We had a hot tip. Can I tell you this hot tip, Bolo?
Who gave you a hot tip?
I can't disclose
Okay.
my sources. May or may not be my wife,
Okay.
who now is current. She says she's listened to every episode now.
No way.
There's two of them.
That's true.
So,
Not the original 125 that we had.
not the original recipe.
Oh, jeez.
The current in the new and improved Deathpiles and Taxes show. Now copyright free
Yes, now that we're legally on the air.
since 2021. But she was watching some show, and it makes good sense though. Bobbleheads were produced for Major League Baseball for giveaways and that kind of thing through the 2020 season,
Okay.
which we know did not happen.
Yes.
As that they played in their bubble world or however that worked out.
Still not sure about that.
So there is a Bolo out there. If you can find these bobbleheads that were not given away that are uncirculated,
Ooh.
they are hot. There's bobblehead collectors.
Ooh.
And if you can get the uncirculated ones, which were produced, which do exist, which have been coming out kind of on eBay sporadically, big money.
Big money. And
Big money.
Same thing with our boys over at Boogers, getting those printed off like season openers for the weird season right now. Those are hot items too. If you can get an actual ticket, that's the thing to do.
Yeah, you had some lanyard at the Jazz game. Mine was all digital.
Well, I know I get the lanyard. That's why we were in the suite. Like we get the high roller tickets,
Oh, I was, sorry.
courtesy of someone else, just like you. You got yours from work. I got mine from work.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, I'm just letting you know. That's why I got the lanyard.
I thought I was the same level.
I'm just saying, like you didn't know what the suite like.
Well, I don't have that suite. That was my first time up there.
I told you came in for the ice cream sundae at halftime. You didn't come in for the main course.
Well, I didn't know about the main course. You said I'm just having a main course dinner.
You
Okay.
probably stopped on the way up and took your wife to a dinner, like a real nice. Oh, you probably went to the Red Lobster.
Let's just say that, but no.
You probably went to Long John Silver.
I probably got in trouble for where I went.
Yeah, so
I said, you better fill it. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, you
I don't know if we get food or not. No one tells me nothing.
When you get the sweet, you get the food.
Adam sends me a picture of all of his food and stuff. I'm like, I don't know where that is. He's like, I'll come find you in a little bit.
Well, I told you.
After I eat.
Man, I don't know. You didn't even show up to the game early, did you?
I tried.
You should sure. You show up to the game early, you get the whole.
It was a weird day, if you can imagine how the week's been. So
I totally know what you mean. So
I got about to a few exits up before I realized. Well, it was like the Easter weekend, and people were doing that kind of things.
Yeah.
And got a few exits. I'm like, oh, the parking pass. I got a parking pass. I had to turn around and go get. Because there's no way I'm going to pay that kind of money when I have a free parking spot across the street. I'm just not used to the finer things.
Not gonna lie, I did pop for $20 parking.
I'm a blue collar
across the street.
man. I'm not used to all this extravagance.
I paid for the $20 parking because I didn't pay for the tickets.
Well, why didn't you get those with your tickets?
Well, because the parking pass, like, it's a whole other thing.
I think this guy's working you over.
I don't want to bother the guy for the parking pass.
Well, that's better than the game itself. Sometimes it's a good parking spot.
No.
There's a lot of satisfaction in a good parking spot.
I know where to go. Like, you know where to go. You kind of get your thing, and I know where the good spot is.
Well, it wasn't better than my spot.
I'm sure it probably wasn't. So, well, Derek, it's been a crazy week for taxes. I know that you know this, that the tax deadline has been extended. It is now May 17th. Right now, we're in the lull before they get hot again. Right now, it's spring break, so I hope a lot of people are taking advantage of that.
Adam used to go spring breaking all the time. Had some crazy videos he used to share with us.
Hey, when Pelican did those kind of things, I mean, you just never know what was going to happen. Let's just say I'm glad that cell phone video quality was what it was that long ago. So we don't have those videos from 15, 16, 17 years ago.
Hey, this is a show about selling on eBay, if you're into the show. This is a reselling podcast. Sometimes we get a little out in the weeds, but we usually come back.
We had a crazy week, and we were talking about taxes. I was bringing the tie in, but taxes, like so the tax law changes, we still cannot file taxes if you had Obamacare. That premium credit, it is not going to be, you're not going to have to repay it if you made too much money. Before in the past, you'd always have to pay back some portion of it, whether it was $200, $300, $1,600, $2,700, potentially $15,000. That was one of the things that passed. So I've got about 50 tax returns sitting on hold.
Should have maxed that out.
You should have maxed that out. So that's one of the things we've been waiting on. We had the update on unemployment. We've had the PPP refiled 2.0. So if you are a reseller and you had a Schedule C, you were able to apply for the PPP 2.0 and get some money there. So a lot of crazy things going on right now, but people are worried about spring break, so they're not exactly itching to get their taxes done now that they know they have an extra.
Hey, this is the time to sneak in then. You get under the radar.
I'm in a good mood because I've decided for the rest of tax season, I am taking Saturdays off. No longer will I be here working.
Working like a dog.
Allegedly.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but I'm
I don't
excited
know. I
to not be
don't.
here.
Allegedly means that you're lying right now.
Well, I'll still probably be here working on my cards, to be honest with you.
You need to get them up and going.
I got
Did you
a lot
get your
of
second
cards.
batch come back yet?
We'll be here tomorrow. I
Okay.
was hoping it's going to be here today, but it's going to be here tomorrow. I know because of my credit card got charged.
That's a good indicator.
I got to get some sales so I can pay off that credit card.
Well, Adam, do we want to have our guest come in right now, or do we want to wait till after the break? How do we want to do this?
I think what we'll do is we'll come in after the
Wait
break.
patiently.
He's been here, the man, the myth, the legend, literally. We'll bring that in, and we'll go from there on part 2 of Deathpiles and Taxes.
New reseller questions, setting things up. It's going to be good.
We got some good quality advice that's going to make you money, unlike the first part of the episode.
Just be prepared, folks. Hey guys, it's Derek Everitt and Adam Beesley from the Deathpiles and Taxes podcast that you're listening to right now.
Your favorite account, I know. It's the greatest thing in the whole world.
A lot of you have been asking what you can do to help the podcast out, and seriously, all we want is a review.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a 5-star review, but if not, be fair, at least a 4.
We know you're listening. Like I said, we see the numbers. We're all over the world. Like I said, it's just we see it. We appreciate everyone listening. Help us get a little higher up there. Help us get more new
Helps with
listeners.
the algorithms. People can help find us out, and it really does help. So if you can go to Apple, iTunes, that's where a lot of you are already listening, or wherever you're listening.
Spotify, Apple, all of these different things. They're all out.
Wherever you listen, give us you don't even have to write a review, just give us 5 stars. If you want to give us a review, that's cool too. We appreciate it, and keep listening.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Well, it's taxes of Deathpiles and taxes. It is that time of year. We're going to have to do something. Uncle Sam wants his money.
Who doesn't want their money?
Well, he's got a lot of it, but we all got to put it in the system. That's the country we live in. So, need to file your taxes. Got questions? You want to know more because you're a reseller? It is a little more difficult than it is, especially if it's your first year. You're getting into it. You're going to get these 1099Ks. You get information that you don't know what to do with, and we don't want you to pay any more than you have to. So, reach out to us here at Adam Up Accounting. You can go to our website. You can check us out on social media. We'd love to help you out. Like I said, we know the resale game. We're here to make sure that you pay your fair share, but don't go back to jail.
All right, Derek, you
Woo.
found this person.
We got mystery guest.
Mystery guest. Tell me the how it came about again. 'Cause,
You want to know the oranges?
yes, the origin. So Derek called me and says, "Hey, we're going to bring this guy in. His name's John. His name's Legend. I had never met him.
John Legend. He plays some piano. He married a girl from out to Delta.
All I know is it's this John Legend and Adam Trescott had never been in the room at the same time. So I don't know if they're one or the other.
Well, John, you have to get right up in the microphone like it's. You can adjust that if you need to. But
Like it's your girlfriend on your first date.
welcome to the show. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
I'm doing good. John is a professional man that's got a job that's a great job. I don't know if we get into it or not, but
Is he an educator?
we'll just say a public educator. But he's recently decided that he's going to do a little eBaying.
Ooh. Have you been listening to the podcast? Is that what got you hooked?
All 2 episodes.
Oh, perfect. That means you're an expert already. All right, so I've actually, he ran into you at Phil's card shop. Isn't that what happened?
Well, so me and John go. We
go way back.
We go way back. We were roommates together for a time. We got some stories that probably can or cannot be shared. But then, yeah, we hadn't seen each other for quite a while.
And then all of a sudden, I was in Phil's, and then the door opens,
Magic
and
happens.
in walks Derek
And there he was.
and his wife.
There you go.
See, if you're living right, just that kind of stuff happens. Go to your local card shops. He may run into me. I may just be there.
That's it. If you're lucky, that's exactly what happened. So,
And John's getting into kind of the card sales. He was kind of doing some eBay. I don't want to share all your story, but yeah.
So you're getting into cards, or you've been into cards?
Well, like back in the day, when I was 10, I was into the cards.
So about 15 years ago.
About 15, yeah. About.
Approximately.
Approximately.
Give or take
Then-
15 years.
Yeah. And then totally was out of them. And then just probably about a year ago, maybe less than a year ago.
Okay.
Started getting back into them. But started with really the cards that I had when I was a kid.
And that was what?
The 86, 87 tops.
So the ones worth nothing.
Basically.
Unless they're Topps Tiffany, and we couldn't afford that brand.
Nope, and I couldn't barely aboard the tops.
Okay. So you're getting back into cards because
Yeah.
now we're one of those educators. We've got more money than we know what to do with, and we can got some disposable income, right?
A few.
That's usually most of the educators we work with because
They make too much money. That's what they say. If there's one thing we're known for.
that's exactly what it
If
is.
there's something we're known for is we overpay.
That's false. Just so you know, that is the absolute. These are the people that are with our children the most hours of our lives, and we pay them peanuts, which is an absolute joke. But that's a whole nother part.
Yeah, we could go off on all. I'm sure we got stories galore if we went that way. But
Very
we want
true.
him to keep his job.
So you're getting back into cards. What brought you back into cards? What got you back in the game?
I think the one thing that kind of got me back into it was I read or listened to a little piece on Gary V.
Oh, Derek's close personal Twitter friend.
He follows me.
That's what I heard.
Conspiracy, that might be how our episodes got took down. That's just a conspiracy. We don't know.
Word out there is he might be a little jealous.
Yes. So you listen to some Gary Vee.
Get little Gary V, and he said that cards are becoming a big deal. Get the LeBrons and stuff like that. So I went to a card shop, and Yeah, I can't get into LeBrons. They're too expensive. They're way too expensive.
So you got in. So are you a basketball guy now? Is that kind of where you go?
I dabble in a little wrestling.
You just say that me and John are little brothers in the squared circle, Adam.
Yep.
You guys do kind of look like the Bush brothers right now. Please don't lick each other or bite each other's arm right now.
There's no children around, and that's who the bushwhackers were licking, so you're safe.
Okay.
I will not lick little children ever, Adam.
Okay.
You don't have to ask.
Are you from New Zealand? Is that where you're from?
Maybe some ancestral ties.
Okay. That's it. I knew there had to be some. You both sporting the beard, the lean look on top.
Lean look. That's the first time that's ever been said about me.
So you got back into cards. How did you get to start selling on eBay? Because that's what it sounds like you're doing right now, right?
Well, I did just a little bit with cards on eBay.
Okay.
Started actually with some WWF DVDs
Okay.
that I had when I was younger,
All right.
and started putting those on there, and they just sold like crazy.
Really?
Yeah,
WWF DVDs.
DVDs.
Okay. Now, something I never would have thought of that sold.
Yep.
And so these are just things that are in your personal death pile. You just
Yeah.
had them sitting around.
He's just cleaning house a little bit.
And
Doing
I
a
just,
little cleaning house.
you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to see what these. So how did you price? I mean, that's a great question. You started. So what were you like? Like, I wonder if these will sell. And you looked it up and you
Yep.
threw them up and they sold.
Looked up on solds
Okay.
on eBay, see what they're selling for, and then based it off of that.
And within a couple days you sold them.
Yeah, actually,
Oh, so it's that
That's
easy.
that
it was
easy.
pretty,
That's what
it
you
was
do.
pretty easy.
So you didn't have an eBay account. You just said I'm
Nope,
going to set
don't
one
have
up,
an eBay account.
and you set it up,
Yep.
and you started selling stuff,
Yep,
and you started making money.
yep.
Okay. Wow.
Pretty simple. Then.
Okay. So you started doing that, and you're probably like all resellers. Like, I mean, how did you figure out shipping? Was that hard?
Shipping was tough,
Okay.
especially the first couple.
All right. But you were able to get past that, right?
Guys, have you got a scale yet? I got a few phone calls along the way.
No. I gotta get on eBay and buy one.
Oh, Adam's going to the magic closet. Let's see what comes out here. This is oh, there you go. What you got, Adam?
Is this a scale?
I've got my high dollar scale here. I believe I got it from Walmart for about $8.
Ooh, Walmart sells them.
Yes, this is a very simple food scale.
Okay.
I literally just put it on there. There you go. I've got I know this because, like I said, I just did this morning. I have a nice little measuring ruler here. I just measure my stuff. I'm still easy, and I just go right through eBay stuff. Derek has told me several times over to use Pirate Ship, right?
Uh-huh.
I know he's got his special codes and all that stuff. I haven't done it yet, but there you go. That's
Okay,
it.
so a food scale.
Food scale, like
From Walmart.
like $8. This is not even the digital one. Like you have to turn it to make sure it's
See,
right.
I got the digital. I got a digital scale.
Derek's
I'm up.
high dollar.
I might not have been in many jazz suites, but I'm pretty high class with the reselling shipping things.
It was like $8, super easy, best investment that I could have made as far as the shipping aspect goes. So there you go.
Okay, so that's where I'm going to be heading to then.
Yes.
Okay.
So we got a scale, we got you going. How was it as far as dealing with like did you have any? I think you had a review that you weren't sure about. Is that what happened?
So I had one. I had one negative, and that was based off of one of the DVDs out of like a 4 or 5 like anthology that
Whoa.
wasn't working
Okay.
apparently, and so the buyer never got back to me or messaged me or anything else. He
Okay.
just put the negative review on there because I would have done him right if
Yeah.
he would have gotten a hold of me, but never got a hold of me.
So you just show up and there's a negative review because one of the DVDs didn't work. And this guy, what was it? Was it like WrestleMania 3? And
I think it was like the Royal Rumble anthology from the 90s.
Oh boy! So
Yeah.
he was getting all ticked off because it was probably like '93, and he's just waiting to see if Ultimate Warrior won, and
Doink the Clown just got eliminated. He can't see what's going on.
he's getting all kinds of flusterpated because his one next CD is not working. So
Yeah.
he took it out on you.
Yep, took it out on me.
So
and
when you're a new seller with very low feedback, that's a big blow.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
what did you do? I mean, well, you said I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore, or how did you get past that bullet that you had slung your way?
The first thing I did is I called Derek, got a little advice,
Okay.
and then one thing that you can do on there is you can reply to feedback.
Okay.
And so I replied to the feedback.
Okay. And that took care of it, or you at least replied and said this is what happened. Not a big deal.
Yeah, basically.
All right. So you moved on from that little aspect. Are you selling right now?
I have 2 things up.
2 things.
I know, 2 things.
Well, 2 things. You've got at least 2 things for sale.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
You dove in. You tried it, and have you got the addiction yet? Like, do you want to do more?
Oh yeah. So, been getting into cards, the Funko Pops. Those are pretty big hit.
That's a whole
You
other
can-
avenue. Yeah.
Yep, whole nother avenue. So been selling those. Even the old wrestling, WWF wrestling figurines that are still in the package.
Okay.
Those are going like crazy right now. So I had that on an auction, and I was getting bids all the time for it.
So you had an auction. Tell me about that. Like how much did it sell?
Adam hasn't done the auction. He's more of a buy it now like I am. So
I've done one auction.
you're still kind of new to the. I guess you did
Well,
the McDonald's.
My first one was an auction.
Yeah, well, one thing I didn't know is that with the auctions you get a lot more fees.
Yeah.
And I did not know that
Okay.
until after I got my
Invoice.
invoice.
Yeah.
My invoice in.
His, the bill came through and he said, "What's all these charges?"
Exactly. And so, got the invoice, figured out that the auctions cost a lot more.
Yeah.
So, probably won't be heading in the auction area a whole lot more, just doing the
The buy it now.
buy it nows.
So how much did you sell this? I mean, when you say auction, how much did you sell it for?
So I bought this, it was a Ravishing Rick Rude figurine.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
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 If you haven't been listening to the Deathpiles and Taxes podcast, you will be from now on.
Yes, you will.
Yep.
And anyways, had that, bought it maybe 6-7 years ago
This ain't
for a gift,
Yeah.
possible gift,
Yes.
for $4.
Okay.
Sold it for almost $40.
There you go. That's some good ROI.
Yeah.
I mean, Derek's had a couple birthdays since then, so you probably could have given it to him.
Just clean out the closet. Well, I sold it for $40.
There's nothing that goes in the PC like it goes up for sale. So.
Yeah, everything's got a price, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's just something you're learning how to do,
Yeah.
and it's it's fun.
So
It is way fun.
So last night, what was set up, John? You got an eBay store now, correct?
I do have an eBay store now.
Oh boy!
I did get that finally set up.
So now
It's a
you're
little
ready.
gun shy.
You're ready to list.
Yeah.
You got to get all the things.
I got to now start listing the things that I got. So.
Because 2 items aren't gonna they're
No.
just not gonna pay for the fees.
We're looking to retire you.
I know. Yep. Getting close to retirement.
I know that education, you're ready to double dip, but we got to give you something else to dip in before you
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Yep. So anyhow, yeah, finally got the store, and starting the list.
There you go.
Now you said you had a few questions coming in, so we're here to answer and help out. So what's one thing is because me and Adam have been doing this for a while.
Derek's been doing this.
I've been doing it a long while. Adam's been doing it a while. So we forget what it's like to be new. So what's a few things that were kind of those curves that were coming up that we kind of forgot about? Adam's not liking that dude not one bit.
Mountain Dew, I love you, but this Mountain Dew Sugar Zero Major Melon.
See, this is why I didn't bring the Chinese food the other day. If it's not the right thing, I'm gonna have to hear about it.
There's a difference between a beverage and a food to eat.
And so kind of new things starting off that kind of helping other people that are getting started new, and then the questions that you kind of have as a new seller.
Well, I think a couple of things, knowing what costs the most. So auctions versus the buy it nows. If you don't know those two things, they can kind of lead you down to just throwing the auctions, because the auctions are actually quite addicting, because you get those notifications.
Yes, they are.
then you get those notifications. And so, but with those notifications comes a lot of fees. And eBay likes to relist things without you even really knowing it. So
Yes.
up to 8 times, I think. So every time they relist, it's another fee.
Good part is with the store, those fees severely decrease, and you just pay for a cheap education on your first,
First couple months in the game.
cheap
Yeah.
education.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot cheaper than what I had to dish out for my education. So
Yes, and you're learning a lot more, and you're teaching. I won't say better things, but
Different.
Different things.
Different things.
yeah, way different things. So that was one. Those were some questions I had. The other thing was like the fee, the whole fee invoice, and knowing what that was all about, and negative reviews.
Well, the fee thing, and Derek can answer this better, but what they like to do is they kind of like to make it like, these, dare I say, companies that pay you out, like they try to make it so confusing that you don't know what you're really being charged. That's kind of the way they like it to be.
There's a lot of weeds to be weeded through to get to the actual garden at times.
So,
Yes,
so
sir.
the thing to take care of is sell more.
Sell more. There's a reason they do call it fee bay. With your store, though, you kind of get so many free listings that it's more that you're just paying for the store subscription. Even with the auctions, I think you get 100 free now with a basic store. So, my advice to anyone that's going to be trying to do this serious at all is get a store and get like that second tier level. I think that's what we've talked about. I think is that
It's
the
a
one you
basic,
would
I
go
think.
to? Yeah, and then get somebody like Adam to do your taxes because you're going to be paying them bills.
Yes, you are. You want to get those things taken care of, and the other is educating yourself on the stuff you want to sell. And obviously, you're selling wrestling stuff because you've got that thing. I mean, you kind of. I'm trying to. Who does he remind you of? I mean, he's not Paul Bear. He's not IRS. He's kind of.
Yeah, you're IRS here.
I know. I'm just trying to figure out who he's reminded me of. You know what I mean?
Keep thinking about it. You'll come up with somebody. But
Yeah.
we went to the card show together the other day.
We did.
The one over here at the mall.
Oh man.
And you were low key buying up some baseball cards over on that one.
It was
So
some of the vintage.
the vintage. So this
Yeah.
is the thing though, is if you're not listing, you're hoarding,
Yep.
and it's tougher to make that, not that sell to your significant other, but every time you get like a cha-ching, cha-ching, it's like, see, I told you, I know what I'm doing.
So speaking of that, you're kind of new to the game. Does your wife think you're crazy right now, or is she on board?
The wife thinks that the money I've made is crazy.
Good.
So that's where she's at.
Love it. That means
Yep.
she's like, you telling me that stupid people will pay this $40 for
Yeah.
this stupid thing. Great. That's
Yep.
the second she can learn that we don't ask why people pay for those kind of things, you just sell it to them.
Yeah.
Exactly. You just do it.
Good thing too with the negative feedback, like you said, you can leave a review. They're actually changing the format so that you can leave a longer comment back and forth. They can leave longer feedbacks, but you can also respond. I had somebody this very week that left me a neutral review because I apparently was rude. It said he was very rude, and so I just responded with, I answered the same question several times. I have all my policies. You can send it back, no problem. You just kind of give the good customer service relation like John did. Then down the road, John, what happened with you with a negative comment or a review? You got hit with another one.
I got hit with another negative review. It was shipping was too much money and was slow.
Yes, because you control USPS.
Exactly.
He's Postmaster John.
Wow.
I am
So-
postmaster.
So in that circumstance, what happened? How did you take care of that?
Well, I got onto the Facebook page, the eBay Facebook page,
Okay.
and then messaged them and just told them what had happened. They wanted my information, sent them my information, and then later on that evening, I got a message saying that they took off that negative review.
That easy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're out there, you get a negative, that's not always the end all be all.
No.
And go ahead and contact eBay for Business. They've made it a little more difficult, but you can do it on the Twitter or on the Facebook page, and they'll take care of business. He had, what was that gal's name? Jasmine?
Jasmine,
Jasmine wasn't,
the most helpful.
She was kind of probably a new employee. When John knows more about eBay policies than Jasmine, and he's been selling for about a week without.
He had a good mentor because that's how Derek is. Derek,
Yes, he is.
It's like he reads the IRS code to the eBay people. He says,
Uh-huh.
no, here's your policy. If you check on page 7, line item 3, it says exactly this. You will remove negative feedback. These buyers can't hijack me because what USPS doesn't do is my fault.
There's definitely wording and ways to say things, and if you can get the buyers to say certain phrases towards you, there's ways of working the system, just like anything.
And Derek can work that system.
But yeah, so now John's up, he's running, you got your store. How many listings do you get now?
Oh, I don't know on the basic.
Ooh. I think it went up to 1,000, but I could be off.
Not
Might
a bad.
be.
You hit your max. You hit your max, and you're going to be doing well. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
Have you been picking up things to sell?
little here and there. Hitting some of the thrift stores.
Ooh. How's that
kinda
like? How do you like that? Do you take your wife and kids, or is it just
No, they don't go to the thrift stores right now because of
Everything.
everything. Yeah. So I just sneak in there
you?
and
Okay,
check it out, and then
that's your alone time.
gotta have some alone time.
Getting-
Gotta have some
Daddy's a long time.
Can you dare say that now? Your alone time is going through
thrift stores.
sifting through people's old clothing like
And
that's.
come home and disinfect yourself down.
There can
Yep,
be a
yep,
whole
yep.
lot worse things that people do. People don't understand. Like you're paying yourself to be educated. So
Yeah, there's a whole lot worse hobbies and a lot more expensive hobbies.
Well,
Yes,
now
sir.
I'm thinking, like for instance, I have a coworker who told me that she has a bunch of records in her trunk.
okay.
She's like, we've gone through them. Everybody got what they wanted. I don't know what's left in there, but do you want them? And I said, why, sure I do. And so I'm picking those up. I got a bunch of records in my trunk right now.
Oh,
Kind of go through the books,
all right.
kind of see what those go
Well,
for
that's
because
with
those been
books. You've been
selling.
doing well with books.
You
Yeah.
seem like an educated man. Like you probably have read a few books in your time.
Just a couple,
Just a few.
just a few.
Derek, you look like you.
Now, how many authors have you corresponded with? Now, I might be the eBay whisperer, but Mr. John here,
Well, quite a few.
he knows quite a few authors.
Yeah.
Like, are we talking like the Redwords in the good book, that kind of author, or
Well, we try to get back to him.
And haven't met the maker.
what kind of books are we talking?
Mostly like business books.
Okay.
So those seem to go pretty good, as well as like young adult type books, children's books,
Okay.
things like that. So those go.
Kind of with your profession comes the education on which
Exactly.
children books are
Yep.
popular. Use what you know, right?
Oh, so one thing. So I
Hot
had
tip.
Hot tip. So I had the first Percy Jackson book. So Rick Riordan, Percy Jackson.
Adam doesn't know pop culture at all.
Yeah. It's fine.
Educated me. I
Yeah.
don't know who that is.
So it's a series, pretty popular with the kids.
They made a movie about it.
Made a movie. They're gonna have like a series on, I think, Disney Plus.
Kind of like a newer Harry Potter-ish.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
it's all about mythology. Anyhow,
Wow.
I put that on. I had a first edition, so I put that on eBay. Put it on there for like $3 starting out,
Yeah.
And then I looked at some of the other listings, and they had rare first edition.
Now, so you're learning
And they
the
were
listings.
going, and so they were going for like $40, $50, $60.
Okay.
So I went down and I looked to see if I had those rare editions, and I had 3 of them.
Oh yes,
So
sir.
they were going for like $40, $50, $60.
So you basically turned books on your shelves that you were doing nothing with
Exactly.
into a hundo.
Yep.
Can you believe that's
And
how
that's
easy-
making my wife happy.
Oh,
And cleaning that shelf.
it's about
cleaning
time
those
you're making
shelves.
your wife happy. Good job.
I know.
Now,
I know.
how much are you into these books?
Like into them.
Well, when you buy are these books because of what you do? Are
Sometimes
they
they're-
given to you? Are you paying full price?
Oh,
Or,
okay.
Yeah.
Some full price, some given,
But it's
some
a,
at the
it-
thit's
It's a sunk cost. I mean, that was
Yeah.
years ago.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
done.
That's back when up top was no longer thin; it was a full top.
Well, may not be full, but
It was
they
fuller.
had some.
Fuller.
Well, the point of the story is though you're still getting it for very low cost and selling it for $50, $60.
Yeah.
And now when you go to the thrift store,
You
you
don't-
see Percy Jackson.
Okay.
You're looking
Average
for
Adam
those.
walks by it. He knows to pull it and look for
Okay.
first edition
Percy Jackson.
Yeah,
lighting thief.
like
I put some
the lighting
we all know
thief.
how that goes.
That's what it's called.
I it's over my head. Like,
Yeah.
This is
So
the
those-
educated version, and I'm not
Your
here.
kid would like it.
You know, found a Hunt for Red October
Oh.
first edition
Well, that's a good book.
like several years ago.
Okay.
I think I bought that for like $2.
Sean Connery. I mean, that's the guy
Yeah.
right there. He is the original and only Bond.
Yeah, bought it for like $2, put it on there, sold it for 20.
Oh, that's. And I know people are like, oh, you know, that's a lot. I mean, think about
Yeah.
what you're doing. Like, you're taking trash, you're taking something for nothing, and selling it for 10 times what you.
And how long does it take to put a book up for sale?
30 seconds.
That's-
Like it's not that hard. It's not that
It's
much.
easy.
There's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking the pictures takes the longest.
Okay, so you're an educated man, so you kind of know what books to look for. So, if you're like I said new to the game, you're saying like what if you walk through the book section, like what would you tell somebody to look for, or what are you looking
So, what
for?
am I looking for?
Yeah,
Well, I was trying to look for the Dr. Seuss books, but those were gone.
that news got out fast.
Yes, it did.
What's the next Dr. Seuss?
So,
I guess that's
exactly.
the real question.
Exactly. So anyhow, the ones business books, those go. Biographies like Steve Jobs biography, that will go for $10 or so, especially like the hardcover.
Okay.
A lot of these books, when you're going, I mean, you see them at libraries or you go there, they're usually $1 a quarter. They're not a whole lot for a used book.
Yeah.
So when you're talking $10 for a quarter investment, that's a pretty good margin.
Yeah,
That's
And you get shipped media rate, which is a lot cheaper.
That's true. You get media. I don't know if I've ever sent. I don't think I've ever sold any. Can you send DVDs media rate?
you can,
Oh.
but found this one out.
Oh, good.
Can't do magazines media mail because they have advertisements in them. Even if they're old magazines,
Really?
you still can't do it. Learn that lesson.
How did you get in trouble for that? How do they know?
They can. Well, one thing is they asked. But first, so I told them they're magazines, and they're like, "Well, we can't do media rate on that."
Okay.
And then if you do slide some through, they have the post office can rip the package open
Oh boy.
just to pull things out and see what's in there, and then they can mail it. Either send it to the person who's getting it, who bought it, and make them pay for it,
Oh, that's
or
nice.
send it
That's
back
like
to you.
customer.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
so just watch for that.
All right. Well, that was a hot. I never knew that.
Old magazines. I mean, there's things out there. People can't find things. There's things.
Especially, like Michael Jackson, right when he died, they had a ton of magazines out for that. Those things sell. Still.
The day Michael Jackson died was Pelican's greatest day of his life. The day he got married.
No comment.
And I believe Farrah Fawcett also died on the same day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It was one of those days.
It was a triple banger.
It was. They happen in threes.
They do have
They
it.
do. That's right.
3 souls were lost that day.
Wow.
Love you, Pelican.
Something. Yeah, we'll just skip right over that one.
So what do you got advice-wise for somebody that's on the fence, looking to resell? They've listened to all 3 episodes, maybe even the hidden episodes,
The 125 prior.
but they're just like not doing it, or whatever that reason is. Like, what would you say to somebody that comes to you and says, okay, because I mean, you got a full-time day job, you're successful, you got social status. Why are you going through thrift stores and selling weird books on the internet?
Well, I think the one thing is fun, and it's fun to have some of that cash coming in that you wouldn't have had before, So those 2 things: fun. It's fun, and it's nice to have that extra money.
He just hit it on the head. I mean, that's exactly why I get this. I don't know. I have a regular day job. I own my own company. I do tax returns, and
Hey, you're successful too.
I charge money for it. And,
People pay it.
and they pay it. And the thing is when I get a fraction of that cost on a card that I paid nothing for, I get way more excited than getting a paycheck every 2 weeks.
So how would you tell somebody to start? Like, you're the new beginner in the room. You're getting there. You start your store. What are some quick tips for somebody to get off the bench and into the game?
I don't know necessarily if I was going to just try it, I wouldn't get a store. I would just put a couple on there, just see how they do. Maybe try an auction to see how you like that. But just just do a couple first, just to see if you like it.
Put your toe in the water.
Yep.
You don't know unless you try.
Exactly.
Are you looking forward to yard sale season?
Oh, I sure am. And getting back out to the thrift stores.
Well, I will. We'll let you know there will be a yard sale here coming up here, and very shortly. I'm pulling the items out of the basement. Derek's got his death pile. We're going to have one yard sale of the yard sales of I'm going to say, dare I say, the East Bench in
And
Sanford, Utah.
maybe the biggest thing to hit Sanford, Utah, since Gary Coleman's death.
That's right.
Since we're on that roll.
Which he may have rolled down the stairs. Allegedly, we don't know.
Allegedly may have been assisted.
Yes,
There's some rumor and innuendo that way.
we don't know. If you're really interested in the story, check it out.
And we're also going to hit eventually the big thrift shops with the listeners.
The trifecta up in
Layton.
Layton. Yeah, there's some good. There's some good. You find something. Now that you're saying about it, I haven't been to a thrift store in a while, and I kind of feel like I need that itch again.
It's kind of fun just to go back in and be like, oh yeah, it's still here.
It's,
Yep.
They still got stuff.
I want to look for this Percy Jackson fellow and see if I can find some books.
Well, and the other thing with books is if you go through and just kind of open some, you'll find signed books aren't that rare to come by. First editions aren't that rare to come by. I mean, there's obviously better sellers than others, but it's just like anything. You get a biography that's signed by a Heisman Trophy winner. You're doing all right, Adam.
You're doing good. So that's enough with the eBay stuff. John, the legend, he came in, told us he's been a reseller. The other part of this podcast is when we bring guests on, we like to bring in insinuating stories about the alleged other party on the podcast. So, Mr. Legend, I need a story about Derek that is news and noteworthy that is going
Nothing there. I'm pure. I'm not even sweating.
that we like to know about. There had to have been something being a roommate of Derek's that scarred you for life.
Well, we were all in an apartment down in Orem, down in Utah County, and there were 6 of us, 2 per bedroom,
Okay.
2 per bedroom.
All right.
And so, anyways, we took Derek up to get a bed for myself, and then we started to just talk more and more. Found out we liked wrestling, so we started watching wrestling on the Monday nights, and on the couches that we found out by the dumpsters. And we've been friends since. So
Nothing
in
incriminating
contact.
there. That's just good. That's just good, pure Christian living.
Nothing wrong with 2 men enjoying watching other men in Speedos wrestle each other.
No, no.
And sweaty and greasy. There we go.
On couch we found out.
What were you doing Monday?
I was not. So I have heard a story where there were some other gentlemen from the 6 that were taking mattresses and pulling them behind cars and throwing them in dumpsters, creating literal dumpster fires. Were you a part of that alleged group?
No, I was not.
Okay.
The reason he was the legend is because we told everyone we had this roommate, and he was never there because he had a little gal about 3 hours away that he'd go visit quite a bit. He was now his wife, and so they knew that he existed, but the legend never appeared.
Was the legend a part of the famous painter bachelor party? Were you at that one?
I don't think I was.
I guess not.
Man, that was,
He must have been out that weekend.
I might have been out of that. That is true.
you might have been visiting the little lady friend.
Anything I
Yeah.
can throw a good bachelor party.
That was a good.
There you go.
bachelor. I don't like. I mean, I don't think I ever have. I've never met you in person, so
No.
you can tell me you're Adam Trescott, and I believe it too.
He was also a roommate. I don't know if he was there when you were there, but
Of.
in the same spot where we were at.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There was a lot of people there. A lot of people there.
Revolving door going through the Derek Everitt roommate fest.
And had we known that we could be making money at eBay at the time, we had just set up shop and been doing well.
Well, that's when you got into the Trevor Hicks type.
Taylor Hicks, that was right about the same window.
That's when
Very
Derek.
similar.
That's when Derek found that he found one of the
The State of Fire,
State of
Taylor
Fire
Hicks.
Taylor Hicks auctions or signs because he had just won
That's what got me into eBay.
American Idol, and he
Oh,
found
really?
it on the side of the road.
Oh my god.
And he threw it on eBay and said it was for $40, and he said, "You got to be kidding me!" And that's what hooked him.
That's
Oh
where I
gosh.
began. If you find the secret episode number 1,
Got the
It's still out there.
full rundown between that and Angus MacGyver. You'll know so much about Derek, you won't know what to think.
also to the listeners, if you made it this far, appreciate it. But subscribe, do all that good stuff. But I'm going to put out like the last probably month's worth that we had to pull down of episodes. And then what I'm going to do is going forward, every week we'll have a Wednesday Wisdom from Adam come out. We'll have a classic episode, so I'll put up one of our classic episodes so we can get the 125 back up.
The Lost Pages.
As well as the manuscript has been found,
Yes.
as well as our active news show. So there is potential for 3 new shows a week. Definitely going to be at least 2.
Yeah.
By new, I mean one of them is an old one. But there's good stuff out there, and people found us throughout the journey. So
It could be new to you. Like it says, the cool part is we're all over the world now. We have tens of thousands of downloads. People all over the world.
apparently, some pretty important people found us. So.
Some really important people that says, "Hey, you're getting too much information out there. We want our money. We want our stuff."
And rightfully so. But I'm going to say right back to you. Now you have to license us.
Yes, so we're
You
gonna
can't be putting us out there.
I really. Do you think we could get maybe an official waiver or something from Brandon Flowers to throw that on a couple
Well,
episodes?
here's the thing, and we had Jimmy Cheapy Pants in here a few episodes ago, about a year or so back,
Yeah.
and he said that he'd come back on and tell some stories about him and Brandon's relationship.
Yes.
And if we're going to hit any route, we know some people that know some people,
Okay.
but it's probably a long ask, but that's the one that would be most likely to happen.
Hey,
But I got some aces up the sleeve. If you're listening to this episode right now, you've already heard a couple of my aces. I got a few more coming, so keep listening.
Hey, if I had the trigger hat or trigger shy about asking, I wouldn't be married because it only took about 800 times, and then my wife said yes. So you don't know if Brandon Flowers will let you play the music on the episodes unless you ask him.
Hey, maybe Brandon will write a Deathpile and Texas song. You never know.
That's a good
Never
thing.
know.
So, well, John, the myth, the legends, thank you for coming in. You gave us some great stories, some good things about that. I was really hoping some more incriminating evidence about Derek, so you can share those other stories off air, and next
Hey,
week
there's
Sounds good.
There's nothing to share.
I will pass that on air. So
It's a clean pass.
I mean, right now I'm pretty close to heaven, so I mean,
wow, I guess you have been living right. So
I don't write in the red words, but I'm pretty close.
wow,
I think the blue one's right.
that's the lightning bolt that's gonna hit him. So
I try not to keep it too blue.
So John, there are 2 things in life that are for certain. Do you know what those 2 things are?
Deathpiles in Texas.
Boom.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, Derek. It's the hardcore legend, Mick Foley. And at first I thought this was going to be a fun video. I was like, okay, I'm going to push this great podcast. It sounds like a lot of fun. I was all getting ready to select some music. Earlier today, I'd found Rocky IV, which I did in my least favorite Rocky movie. And it wasn't necessarily a good training, like music montage scene, but it was okay, and I used it. I was thinking, what can I do to get some exciting music and push this a little bit? But instead, it takes a little turn for the worse. It's like some heat comes in here right when I was expecting you to make the big comeback. I understand that you received a copyright violation, had to take down all of your episodes, every one of them. Oh my goodness, this sounds like a podcast. Deathpiles sound like Deathpiles and Taxes. It sounds like a great idea about selling things on eBay. You've been talking about selling graded wrestling cards, and the show took off. Those people suck, I swear. I don't like to use that type of language, but they suck. Like, who are you hurting? I'm going to be honest. I actually got a message from WWE a few days ago, and someone in talent relations said, did you get a message from the head of talent relations about being Mankind? And I immediately thought, they're going to try to tell me not to be Mankind anymore in these cameo videos. And my gut tensed up, and I was ready for a little battle. I was ready for, okay, fine. fine. And then I had, whatever my comments were going to be. And instead, I answered the email, and they said, yeah, we have a winged eagle belt like the one you won, and want to know if you can do an unboxing video. I was like, yeah, I can. But Derek Everitt, I'm really sorry about that. That's a shame. They're cracking down on people they don't need to crack down about, because some people couldn't play by just general rules of decency. So I'm so sorry about that, my friend. Hopefully you'll be back in some other form. Continue your winning ways on your podcast. In the meantime, just find something you like doing. Look at this. I have been spending so much time. Look at these. This brother. Look at. I'm going to just show you something. These are log flume photos. Dude, that goes all the way back to '97, but 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, all the way through. And now here's this photos with Santa. And we go look at that, all these photos, different years. So, point is not that I'm, compulsive about Santa, which I am, but I'm doing something I love to do. And hopefully you can find something you love doing, and it will make you feel a little better. It's a crummy time. It's been a difficult year. I'm wishing you the very best, thanking you for Derek, and I hope things get a little better for you. May all your days be